Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be talking about the best WoW shoes that you can get right now, right? And this is just, of course, my personal opinion, my list. But Way of Weight has been coming up. You guys remember like a couple years ago, Chinese companies would make weird designs, the tech wasn't great, the uppers would be like really not good synthetic leather materials, or either they were pretty overpriced, right? But this year and also last year, they've been going crazy, especially Way of Weight. Way of Weight, it really wants to make amazing shoes. And as a company, I feel like they deliver the product really well. And also marketing is really good, the tech is really good, so they've been killing it, and they have amazing performers. All of their shoes, like all the shoes that I've tried from Way of Weight, have been really nice. There's only one that I didn't like, which we'll go over. But if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But also, we're gonna be doing like a buying guide as well. So like if you're this type of player, and also if you have this type of play style, or if you want like cushion or traction, this is what you prefer, then we're gonna be going over that as well. But of course, yeah, there's 6 shoes, right? There's 6 shoes that you can still buy on their site, but one shoe that's not on this list anymore, or that's not on their site anymore, is the Son of Flash, which makes me sad because that shoe is so amazing and such a good looking shoe in my personal opinion. Such a great design, you know what I mean? But anyways, performance wise, let's get it started off with number 6. Right? We got 6 shoes on this list, and that's definitely the Fission 8. The Fission 8 wasn't terrible, but it made my feet hurt really bad, and like a lot of shoes haven't been doing that of late, right? No shoes have been hurting my feet that much. But the cushion in the Fission 8, especially like in the heel, for some reason made my feet hurt. And it wasn't even on just hard impacts. It was just when I was also like just regularly playing. Like if I was running down the court and I was doing heel dominant strides pretty hard, trying to go fast, it would hurt my heel a little bit. So the cushion was definitely the problem, right, in that shoe for me. The traction also is good. You know what I mean? The traction was good. It was a little inconsistent, right? So if there was a little bit of dust and I didn't wipe, it would slide out dangerously a little bit, but for the most part it was good. And then like the upper material with the mesh is like, it's thin, it conforms to your foot. It's a pretty cheap shoe, so it wasn't terrible, but the only thing I didn't like is the cushion. Like I said, it hurt my feet, so that's why it's the lowest on this list, right? And that's literally the only shoe that I didn't like coming from Way of Weight, right? So there's that. Moving on to number 5, we got the Way of Weight Shadow 5. The Shadow 5 is a new shoe that they released like a couple weeks ago, and it's also a shoe that's geared towards outdoor use, right? Or I guess like an all-around shoe, so you can play on an outdoor court and also on an indoor court, right? But the traction is actually really good. You know, you break it in, and like I broke it in, especially with my like Liberty colorway with like the teal color, which looks great. The traction, like once I broke it in, was really solid. It has amazing stops. I'm still reviewing it, but I'm pretty much done. Also, the cushion is nice. You know, if you're playing on an outdoor court, you want a little bit more impact protection, right? So the court feel isn't the best, right? Like especially comparing to all the other shoes on this list, but it's still like relatively good, and you have a good amount of compression. You have a lot of impact protection as well, especially in the heel. Stepping comfort is pretty good, and the upper also is very nice. It feels supportive but also thin, and it feels like it'll last a long time as well. So the Shadow 5 is a really good shoe, and also it's one of the cheaper shoes on this list, which I think is a good thing, especially if you're going to be playing on an outdoor court, right? You want shoes to be a little bit cheaper if it's geared towards outdoor use, because those shoes will get beat up a little bit more, you know what I mean? But anyways, there's that. Moving on to number 4, we got the AC11 V2, or the regular AC11. A really nice shoe, and yeah, they made the V2 version, but it's pretty much the exact same thing as the regular like AC11, right? But anyways, really nice shoe, but it is a little bit expensive. It's like 150 bucks. The traction is amazing. You have a really good stops. It is a little inconsistent like the Fission 8, but it's not as bad, right? So if you do let a little bit too much dust build up on that traction, it does tend to slide out a little bit, but for the most part it has amazing traction, and then it bites through dust really well if you keep up with your wipes, right? And also very durable, even if you're going to be playing on an outdoor court. And the cushion is absolutely amazing. You have boom, and you have that soft mesh strobo board, so it's really soft for underfoot cushion, and impact protection is great. Also, you have a little bit of an outsole curvature, which makes it feel a little bit like Kyrie's, right? And then the upper, I would say I like the V2 upper a little bit better. It feels a little bit higher quality. It also feels like it'll be a little bit more durable as well, which of course is a good thing. The regular AC11 is a little bit thinner, a little bit flimsier feeling, right? But for the most part, it's a really nice shoe. Really nice overall all-around shoe, which is kind of like the main theme of most of the shoes that Way of Weight has to offer, right? So there's that. Moving on to number 3, we got the Way of Wade 8083 Ultra, which is the Ultra version of the regular 8083, but the Ultra version also is a little bit lower on the list, right? So the 8083 Ultra also is an amazing performer, and also some of the colorways that have been coming out are absolutely amazing, especially that energy colorway. It kind of reminds me of that like the original Nike GT cut. You guys remember that colorway with the Volt? But anyways, you know, the traction is phenomenal. The cushion is super duper low to the ground. Amazing stepping comfort. The only thing I didn't like about that shoe, the one thing that I didn't like about that shoe is the impact protection on like hard impacts, right? So if you're doing hard impacts, it does bottom out the soft boom, and your foot, or my foot did hit the ground a little bit. So it hurt a little bit. Definitely not as much as the Fission 8s though. So it's still not terrible, but I just didn't like that as much. I guess the heel is a little bit clunky as well, but you know, it's not terrible. That you have a nice rounded shape there. So it's not that bad, but still a little clunky in the heel. But the upper, very, very thin, supportive, a great quality shoe. I love the carbon fiber on that as well. So if you want like a Kobe-esque shoe and you like dropping midsoles, the 8083 Ultra is a great option. But moving on to number 2, if you want to save a little bit more money, right, then just get the regular 8083, right? So it's $40 cheaper, and also the cushion is a little bit better in the sense of hard impacts, right? So if you want step-in comfort, right, and you want a little bit more bounce, right, and you want a little bit more comfort in your cushion, like your drop-in midsole, then get the 8083 Ultra. But then if you're like, I guess super bouncy and you do very hard impacts, especially like heel strikes, then the 8083 will be a little bit better because the cloud foam is a little bit stiffer than the boom, right? So it doesn't bottom out as easily on hard impact. So there's that, but it's pretty much the same exact shoe, right? The traction is phenomenal. The upper is very thin but conforms to your foot very well, all the good stuff. So yeah, the regular 8083 is amazing. And of course, as you guys all know, the number 1 shoe is the WOW 10, which is Dwayne Wade's signature shoe, which makes sense, but it's also the most expensive shoe, right? So WOW 10 or the WOW 10 Low, a lot of the WOW 10 or the WOW 10s really aren't available on their site anymore, which makes me sad. I guess they're all sold out. But the WOW 10 Low is pretty much the same exact shoe, but then cheaper. So if you're trying to save money, and also I like low tops a little bit better as well, it's an amazing, amazing shoe. Did you guys see the Lakers colorway? The away colorway looks absolutely amazing. The Ice Blood colorway looks absolutely amazing as well. So yeah, the WOW 10, amazing. The traction is really, really good. Solid performer. The cushion also is really nice. It's very, very bouncy with the full length boom. And also like the cage isn't that stiff, so it still allows for a little bit of compression in the heel as well from the actual midsole, right? So step-in comfort is amazing. You have bounce, you have a good compression in the heel. Impact protection also is really good. So it's a little bit better version of the AC11 V2 cushion, right? It's pretty much the same exact cushion. It's just full length boom, right? The upper is very minimal, very thin. Ventilation is good, but also the quality doesn't seem bad. It's an overall lightweight shoe, but also very responsive and supportive shoe because you have the necessary lateral counters on it. So yeah, I mean the WOW 10, and also WOW 11 is going to be coming out soon, as rumors have it. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very excited about that because I loved the WOW line has been really, really nice since what, like the WOW 6. The WOW 6 was nice, 7 was nice, 8 was nice, but it was a little heavy, so I didn't like it as much. The 9 also was nice, and 10 is definitely my favorite. So very, very excited for what Way of Wade has to offer for the 11th signature shoe. But yeah, that's kind of my list. And yeah, so let's go over the cushion, right? So if you prioritize cushion, I would say get either the WOW 10 or the AC11 V2. But obviously, if you want to save money, get the AC11 V2. The full length boom is absolutely amazing and does everything very, very well for cushion, right? So step-in comfort amazing, comfort amazing, impact protection is really good, good court feel. It does everything very, very well. So if you're looking for good cushion, then go with the AC11 V2 or the WOW 10. If you're looking for court feel for the cushion, then definitely go ahead and get the 8083 or the 8083 Ultra. But yeah, amazing, amazing court feel. Really, really low to the ground setups for the 8083 and the 8083 Ultra. So yeah, the court feel is there. If you're looking for an outdoor shoe, obviously go with the Shadow 5. The Shadow 5 is an absolutely amazing shoe for outdoor courts. The rubber is very hard, right? And also the cushion is a little bit thicker, so you have better impact protection on hard impacts, which is what you need if you're playing on concrete, right? And also the upper and the overall shoe feels a little bit more durable. It feels like it'll last a little bit longer on the outdoor court than some of the other shoes on this list. But also another kind of like consolation prize for that is the AC11 V2. The AC11 will also be very good on the outdoor court, right? So there's that. And last but not least, if you're looking for a very lightweight shoe, a shoe that feels super lightweight but also very, very responsive, then go ahead and get the 8083 or the WOW 10 Low. The WOW 10 Low feels extremely lightweight but also very, very responsive and yet supportive, which is very, very hard to do, you know what I mean? But also same thing with the 8083. The 8083 and also the 8083 Ultra feel very, very lightweight. I would say they feel a little bit heavier than the WOW 10, but they are cheaper, so that's why I'm trying to put it on this list, right? But yeah, if you're looking for a very lightweight and a responsive shoe, those are the shoes to get. The AC11 and the AC11 V2 are a little bit on the heavier side of things, right? So anyways, that about wraps it up. I hope this video helped you guys out. And also Way of Wade has been killing it. And also like a lot of Chinese companies, 361 with the AG4s killed it. The Rigora with the AR1 killed it. Amazing performance, amazing price, right? And Way of Wade is killing it, Anta's killing it. So I'm just waiting to say, like, you know, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas is killing it, New Balance. I feel like their basketball shoe lineups have been a little bit lacking, you know what I mean? But definitely Nike is the top out of all the ones that I just mentioned, right? So anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, if you guys want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave the affiliate link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.